There's all these platforms. We have to be on all the platforms all at the same time.
Who wants to learn something? YouTube.
Into my business. Is it something that's going to further my goals, right? And then is this the right platform to do it on?
It depends on their business. Like, first of all, identify your product base or service base.
Welcome back to the Journey Podcast, episode 2. I'm Emma Jackson.
And I'm Jose Escalera.
And today we're going to be talking about how to dominate video content in 2024.
Which is honestly a very hard topic to discuss because there's so many different platforms, so many different metrics, and the way to record something on one platform might be different for another platform. So
yeah, no, whether you're running a, solo entrepreneur situation or a medium or even large scale business and you're on the marketing team or you're just looking to dive into video for your company this year, we're going to provide some tips and tricks on getting started.
Exactly. I'm interested. I know the next couple episodes we got some guests coming on, and I'm curious to see or ask them kind of the questions after this podcast. See what are they doing in their businesses. But I think we should start with us. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so we first started out thinking, just like everybody else, that, okay, there's all these platforms. We have to be on all the platforms all at the same time, right?
Correct, which honestly was a huge mistake.
Huge mistake. And tell me, why was it such a mistake?
It's hard. It's honestly very hard because each platform has different requirements and a different audience. So the content that you create for one platform will not fit right with another platform, and then the algorithms they're different, so they work differently.
Yeah, so, okay, let's take an example. So TikTok, for example, is super organic and off the cuff, and a lot of times
and it's downgraded too. So
yeah, they don't.
Let me explain downgraded. It's not polished material. Like a really polished video on TikTok might not work.
No, it will, most of the time it will flop unless there's a really good story behind it. So a lot of big companies came into TikTok and they threw all this money into.
You talking about Ford?
Putting together ads. Yeah.
Yeah. Ford, that was crazy. They produced some amazing commercials, I would say, some ads or some videos, and their account hasn't really grown that much.
And that's common with a lot of big companies. But then you see a company like Duolingo, for example, that has absolutely killed the game on TikTok. And say you're not someone who's familiar with social media and you go to Duolingo's account, you're probably going to think, what the heck? Because it may not make sense to you, right? It's silly, it's goofy, it fits their persona, but it also caters to the younger audience that they're trying to reach.
Yeah, I think they understand very well how to communicate their message to their audience and who their audience are.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is let's stay on TikTok for a minute. There's a lot of potential there. It's the best platform for growing an audience really, really quickly. However, growing an audience, you can't just grow an audience without a means to an end, right? Because you can grow an audience, but they're not the kind of people that are, going to convert to you. A good example is like the dancing dentist or the dancing lawyer. People got into the idea that, I can make dancing or lip syncing videos in the earlier days of TikTok and I'm going to get a huge audience. So first off, who's your audience? Are they 13-year-olds? Are they going to be purchasing your services? Probably not. Does that help further a goal? Are you, the ones that have been successful, like a dancing dentist, they're dancing perhaps, but they're actually sharing really important information. They're growing their audience for a reason. At the end of the day, you really just have to keep in mind, is what I am doing in any way related to my business? Is it something that's going to further my goals, right? And then is this the right platform to do it on? There are the big misconception is that TikTok is only for young kids because nowadays there are people from every single generation that are viewing and creating content. But you still have to understand, is this, going to be the best platform for me?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this gentleman. I've been trying to think his name for a hot minute. He is a bookstore. And
the antiquated Moody? No, I can't remember. He runs a antiquated bookstore.
And he shares his collections with the world. And by proxy, a lot of people have started purchasing more books from him in his business 10X. I think that's a great example how to use that platform to grow your business. But he did it in a very smart way. He's like, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm just trying to share you my passion. And then by proxy, people got into sharing their passion, and then boom, it exploded, and people are purchasing from him, and it went kind of crazy. What's his name?
I would have to look it up. Let's see. But I will say that he did something really, really smart, which is he understood that you can grow an audience, but it's not always so easy to monetize the audience. And you kind of have to have in mind your monetization goals from the beginning, because TikTok is one of the hardest platforms to actually monetize from.
And honestly, TikTok is also, in my personal opinion, I think we're allowed to share opinions here. I think advertisers kind of are ruining that platform a little bit, and the TikTok shop is getting really annoying right now.
Yeah, but it's not just TikTok shop. I mean, Instagram tried something, they just happened to fail, and TikTok is doing it. They're learning from Instagram's mistakes. But yeah, what's a big trend I think we're going to see, and we'll talk about this on a later podcast, I want to dive into it, is the trend away from advertising as we know it. But the thing is, advertisers and big companies are always going to find a way to get their products out there. So yes, we may be able to pay for more things to get rid of ads on a lot of platforms.
It's not. It's more like it's not even big companies. I think it's the micro influencers or the influencers are promoting so many products now. Most of the videos are curated promoting products, which is getting annoying.
I think you're going to start to see that because there's going to be a drastic drop in engagement, right? So the real successful influencers are the ones who have built an audience and they have grown it. And there's, even if they're a micro influencer, they have a stake. People care what they have to say. But if all you are doing is, pandering one product after another, your credibility drops with your audience. And then people don't want to buy your thing. So I think we'll really start to see that cycle take place in 2024.
Yeah, just trying to agree. I hope my goal is my outlook, right? I would like to see advertisers or influencers work more like in the YouTube space where this is the sponsor of this video, versus they in TikTok they're making the full video and then at the bottom it's just sponsored, but you really think it's them actually telling their honest opinion, which is kind of misleading, which did annoy me a little bit.
No, I think it undermines credibility. So, okay, I want to hear your breakdown of your favorite platforms and why, and then just like the characteristics. We're going to be talking about Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube because those are the three major for video.
Yeah, so I love YouTube. I think YouTube is phenomenal. I've been trying to break into YouTube for a while. This is second attempt on YouTube. But YouTube is like the biggest search engine. Before I went to college, I learned how to kind of produce music off YouTube, edit videos. Like, you want to learn something? YouTube. And I think it has also given the ability to change so many people's lives. And they've done it in a really well way where it's not only benefiting the platform, but it's benefiting the users and also the creators. So it's like a win-win all around. Instagram is my second favorite. Not a big fan of Meta overall, but I just love Instagram. It's really high quality photography, very good quality videos. They usually have like an agenda to their accounts, and you understand who they are, why they're doing the things, and the messages trying to promote in their accounts. And when you're following that creator, you're understanding that's what you're gonna get. TikTok, what I enjoy about TikTok is about the raw feel to the videos, and how the creators are just kind of like sharing either car stories, dating stories, like the grandma one that was hilarious, stories. But what is really kind of like killing TikTok for me is those creators that are just kind of like following those trends and trying to copy things and not keeping like the organic feel to it.
No, I feel you. I will say my order is a little bit different than you. I consume different kinds of content. I do think that YouTube is just the best of the best for creators. They know what they're doing. They know their niche, and they've become one of the most powerful companies in the world. They can both cater to consumers, right, people who are viewing the content, and to the businesses or the creators creating the content. I think they do a really good job of keeping that balance.
Yeah, and one thing, picking up on YouTube fast, one thing I love is a lot of creators are creating like TV series on YouTube on a smaller budget, but it's kind of like the same feel, like you're following their business, like the jewelry business. I follow a lot of watches and from New York. So you see those companies getting new watches, the gray market, stuff like that, and they kind of like you're seeing their business interact and you're knowing more about their products, but it's like in a reality TV kind of vibe, but it's actually really low budget production, which is really, really cool.
That is cool. And then for me, I don't love Instagram that much. I think that they have done a great job because they're Meta of connecting with the business owners. They are also one of the more easily monetized platforms because they have, stuff set up for that. However,
I mean, you have to have 10,000 followers, and it's kind of
yes, but
entry's harder than YouTube.
Yes, absolutely. But it is once you hit that threshold, you can potentially make quite a bit of money. But it doesn't feel as authentic to me. It feels like they've been trailing behind unless I see some really exciting innovations from Instagram this year. In the video space, I still think that TikTok leads from a creative perspective. And I absolutely love watching the diversity of content, just like YouTube. But like TikTok does the short form, it's short form king right now.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching how creative people can be in entertainment. It is purely like the most entertaining. I think YouTube does the intersection of entertainment and education well because you have the longer videos as well.
Mm-hmm.
But TikTok to me is still where so much of our culture is now being defined by things that happened and started on TikTok. And like 2023 alone, music, huge amounts of music started and elevated. Food trends, the foods that people are trying and eating and cooking. Shopping trends, the places that people are going. Products are selling out. We're seeing this like cyclical
is that a word?
Trend. Cyclical. Yes, that means it's like a cycle, right? Where it's the Stanley water bottles that everyone's obsessed with, right? It hit big on TikTok and they're selling out everywhere. You go and there was a TikTok creator that talked about Christmas hauls. She watched a ton of Christmas videos and she's an adult, but she said, I'm very curious to know what the teenagers of this day and age are buying. And she's like, they're all buying the same thing. Like they're all getting the same gifts for Christmas. And it's this interesting situation where when you hit it on TikTok, like you hit the algorithm, you hit the success. I mean, you watch creators that have, they have a shop. They've sold almost nothing and they hit the algorithm just right and boom, they're selling out of everything. But that being said, the trend goes up and then it goes right back down. And people are always kind of trying to chase that success of that initial
And that works on a product-based company very well, but not on a service-based company.
Oh, I completely agree. And I think that e-com products, that's why TikTok has been great for them because they're able to more successfully drive sales. Service-based products are always a lot harder because you have to curate an audience and then have a continued usage. It's not that one-time, buy.
Yeah, I can see that, honestly. I think I just have a love-hate relationship with TikTok, honestly, because it's like, I don't know. I do see a lot of creators giving a lot of effort towards it, but I also see creators that are seeing success with the algorithm and their content is mediocre at best. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't see...
And I think it's in the eye of the beholder, to a certain extent, for sure. And there are things you could try to do everything just right. And sometimes it's the algorithm. Sometimes it's you haven't hit your audience, and kind of trying to figure that out. So as businesses going into the new year, really trying to get successful video content out there on these platforms, what would you suggest is like the number one starting point?
It depends on their audience. It depends on their business. Like, first of all, identify your product base or service base. If you're a service base, I'm gonna lean more towards Instagram and YouTube. If it's product based, I'm gonna go TikTok for the same reasons we were just talking a minute ago. You can hit the algorithm and boom, changes your life, right? But if it's a service base, there's an education component to your sales. You need to educate your consumers why they should purchase your service. And not only that, it's like how your service can intertwine with their business to create a multiple for them. So I think that's that educational component, excuse my language, kind of is needed. And that's why you have to tailor it more to the YouTube platform or to Instagram or even Facebook. Facebook ads are phenomenal based for that.
Let's break down the ways it's possible to make money as a business from video. Let's start with YouTube, for example. Because it's not just because you can make money, right, as like you put a video on there. You have enough subscribers. How many do you need? Like 1,000?
1,000 to at least become an ad partner.
So, okay, if you have at least 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can become an ad partner, and then ads will show on your video.
And to clarify, all this information is out there on the web. It's pretty simple to find out. So I think there's about maybe 6 or 7 streams of revenue you can create off YouTube. And it's not off YouTube, but off the content you're producing for YouTube.
Exactly. So a lot of times people, when they go into creating video content, they're thinking of it single-mindedly. They're thinking, okay, I'm a business, say I'm a service-based business or product. You're like, I just want to sell more services or more products. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to create content that's going to do that. But then you're missing out on all these other potential streams of income, including you develop an audience that cares about you right? Then you can monetize that audience. You can do that through ads directly on the platform, right? So if you have 1,000 subscribers, you can get those ads that come before your YouTube videos.
Ad partnership.
You can also have partners not through the YouTube platform, but on your videos. You can have people, YouTube creators do this all the time, where they have sponsors of videos. So you would have companies that are in the same sort of category or a similar category as you that want to support you.
Let's break it down. Let's take a hypothetical company. It's a law firm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy law firm. Law firm is a weird industry because either you're going to need a lawyer for business purposes, or B, you're going to need them for some type of like medical lawsuits, criminal accidents, all that stuff, right? So
yeah, it's definitely in the need category, not a want.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to use that. Let's say a law firm decides to create a YouTube channel, right? Of course, they get over 1,000 subscribers. They hit ticket number 1. Their ad partners, they get ad monetization through YouTube, right? Or through Google. Second way they can make money off sponsorships, working with other companies to promote other products that are relative to their industry in the law firm, right? I don't know which companies could be in law firms.
I mean, so if they're a personal injury lawyer, it could be it could be insurance companies, right? It could be car insurance. It could be any sort of health insurance, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So you just kind of those tangentially aware, and you can inside your business you can brainstorm what those would be, and then reach out to potential sponsors.
So after that, me personally, I probably would go into educational based platforms, how to create an educational course and sell that course. So now you take your service industry and you made it into a product base. And now you're not only, have the service, you have the product on there.
And you don't sell on YouTube, right? You get people from YouTube to go to another website where you would host and sell.
You could do that too. Or, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think YouTube has some type of platform or...
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. But there's
people do it.
Yes, so you can actually build an audience on YouTube, and then you can eventually sell some sort of a product. So that's another stream of income that you can get from just creating video content.
Exactly. And then you have collaborations between other companies like Expose. You can create an email list and then monetize your email list. There's so many ways to make money off creating an audience and a content that resonates with people. I think that's the key.
Yeah, and so rather than doing what we did at first and just trying to put content on every single platform, pick one and be consistent about it. And then once you've gotten that and you're actually starting that role, then maybe you can add another one into the mix, but only if and when you're ready to be consistent on that platform as well.
Yeah, I think it's dedication and education at the end of the day. We're picking YouTube. That's going to be our primary focus, YouTube, and then associated with the audio side of this podcast is going to be distributed on Spotify, Apple, and all that stuff. But our main goal is YouTube. So we're going to work very hard in the next 2024 to produce the best quality product. And when it comes time, by product, I'm talking about videos to really capture our message to our audience and what we want to share with them.
Yeah. So if this resonates with you all, you should give us a subscribe and follow along. And we are hoping to dive into not just high-level stuff. I think what's so annoying for me as a business owner to go listen to podcast after podcast to try to get spark an idea or resources. And I feel like I come back with encouragement and inspiration, but not really real tangible information that I can use. And so our goal with this podcast is not just to provide inspiration and encouragement, but also to give you a direction to run in that will be productive as you grow and scale your business this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Subscribe, hit a follow, leave us a comment if you like this type of content.
Yeah. See you next time.